Let me share something with you that many wives quietly experience, but almost no one talks about. A marriage does not have to be full of fighting to start drifting apart. Sometimes the distance happens quietly. You can still live in the same house, still sleep in the same bed, still go through your daily routines. From the outside, everything may look stable, but emotionally, something begins to shift. The conversations become shorter. The laughter becomes less frequent. The emotional connection that once felt natural begins to feel harder to reach. And for many wives, this creates a deep sense of confusion because nothing dramatic happened. There was no major argument, no betrayal, no explosion, just a slow, quiet drifting that is difficult to explain. And that quiet distance can feel lonelier than conflict. I know this because after 34 years of marriage and 40 years of relationship with Jake, I have seen how long marriages move through many seasons: the good, the bad, the beautiful, and sometimes the very difficult seasons that test everything you thought you understood about marriage. Many people assume marriages break down because couples stop loving each other, but that is not always the truth. Very often, the real reason marriages drift apart is emotional neglect that happens slowly over time. Life becomes busy, responsibilities increase, work schedules change, children grow up, stress enters the home, and gradually the emotional connection that once came naturally begins to receive less attention. This is not usually intentional. Most couples are not trying to hurt each other. They are simply navigating life. But marriage is a relationship that requires emotional maintenance. Just like a home needs cleaning and repairs, marriages need attention to emotional connection. If that connection is ignored long enough, distance begins to grow. Not because love disappeared, but because attention moved somewhere else. One of the most important things wives should understand about long marriages is learning to recognize the early signs of emotional distance. These signs are often subtle. Conversations become more about logistics than connection. You talk about bills, schedules, appointments, daily responsibilities, but you stop sharing deeper thoughts and feelings. Another sign is when couples stop being curious about each other. When you first fall in love, curiosity is natural. You want to know what the other person is thinking, how their day went, what they are feeling. But over time, many couples assume they already know each other completely, and curiosity slowly disappears. Without curiosity, emotional connection begins to weaken. Another quiet sign is when laughter becomes less frequent. Laughter is one of the strongest emotional bonds between couples. When couples stop laughing together, something deeper is often happening beneath the surface. One of the most painful experiences for wives and long marriages is the feeling of emotional loneliness while still being married. You may still care deeply about your husband. You may still respect the life you have built together, but emotionally, you begin to feel unseen, unheard, or disconnected. This feeling can create frustration, not because you want to leave the marriage, but because you know the marriage once had a deeper connection. You remember when conversations flowed easily, when emotional closeness felt natural, when you felt like true partners in life. When that feeling begins to fade, many wives quietly ask themselves a difficult question. How did we get here? And more importantly, can we reconnect? One of the lessons many women learn over time is that emotional distance in marriage is not always solved by confrontation. Sometimes it is solved by awareness, patience, and emotional maturity. This is where emotional discipline becomes important. Emotional discipline means responding thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. It means recognizing that every season of marriage requires adjustment. It also means understanding that long marriages are built through many small daily choices. Choices to listen, choices to show respect, choices to create moments of connection, even when life feels busy. Long marriages are rarely sustained by grand romantic gestures. They are sustained by daily patterns of kindness, respect, and patience. When couples recognize emotional distance early, reconnecting is often easier than many people think. It begins with small intentional actions, simple conversations without distractions, shared activities that allow couples to enjoy time together again, moments of appreciation for the life that has been built over many years. Reconnection does not require perfection. It requires willingness. Willingness to notice the distance. Willingness to care enough to rebuild the connection. And willingness to approach each other with maturity instead of blame. Long marriages are not perfect. They are living relationships that move through many seasons. Some seasons feel close and joyful. Others feel distant and difficult. But couples who understand these seasons have a much better chance of building a marriage that lasts for decades. Marriage wisdom is not about pretending problems never exist. Marriage wisdom is about learning how to navigate those problems with patience, maturity, and commitment. And that is exactly what this channel is about. Real life, real lessons, marriage wisdom for wives who want a long marriage. If this conversation helped you today, I invite you to subscribe and continue these conversations with me. And if you want to go deeper into these lessons, my book, Marriage Wisdom for Those Who Want a Long Marriage, is available now on Kindle and coming soon in paperback.